Well, welcome to our used 2021 Forester 2251. Starting right in the back bumper here, you pull this cap out, pull that cap on out of there. Inside of here, you're going to find your sewer hose. Once you got that installed, it will have a little adapter on the end of it. It's going to have 2 ears on it. That'll be the same as your sewer caps. Just right up here around the corner, pop that open. Right here is where you would have access to your shore cord. So you'd just be running that up and through there. Then you can close it off from everything else. Standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter. So if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. 30 amp cord to there, 15 to a standard household outlet. And all of your storage bins outside, you're going to find that little black plug in the back corner there. Basically just a drain plug. So if you were to get some water in here for any reason, you can open it up and drain it all out. This outlet right there is where you would plug into if you're running off of your generator. Right beside it is your park cable. The coax cable plugs into there, fires up at your TV location. And then right behind this panel here, if you open that up, the first little valve closest to us, as we open that up, that'll allow the freshwater tank to drain itself out. And then the valve right behind it will be the winterizing kit for your water pump. So you just be taking where it is right now, which is currently drawing out of the tank, flip it the other way around, and then it will then draw off of this hose here that you could then stick into your antifreeze jug to pump throughout the unit. Once you're done just closing it off, straight down underneath that, you're going to find your sewer system. So that cap there, you just be pressing on it, give it a turn, it'll pop on out of there. You see it's got all those ears on it. Your sewer hose will have the same thing. Just presses in, turns until it locks into place. On the right, you get a gray valve there. And then on the left, right actually at the other side of the unit, so we'll show you that over there, is your black valve. Black valve is of course controlling your black tank, which is the filth from your toilet. Of course, going to be your dirtiest water, so we want to dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water. We just dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Right here, you just got your fuel inlet. City water inlet right here. So your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Straight up from there, we get your fresh water inlet. Pop that cap on out of there. Water hose will stick into there, turn on the water, and that fills up your fresh water tank. Hot water tank's kind of right beside it all. You just line up that keyway there and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside the unit. Before turning it on though, we just want to hit this relief valve right there. Make sure you're getting that shot of water come out. If you're not getting that shot of water coming out, there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just close it back off and there you go. Down underneath that's a propane tank. So that pops on open. You get your gauge on the left side there, just lets you know where you're at. Right in the center is your valve for it. You're going to open that up and that will pressurize the propane system. Once you're done, just closing it back off. Another step forward, and we get your generator itself. So pop this on open, you get that little finger latch for all your doors there. 2 little latches come up, and then you can pop this panel out of the way. Right down in the center here, you get your stop prime. You're going to press and hold that until we get a red light. Right, and then you're going to press and hold start. Once you're done, you just press the stop to turn it back off. You have a similar switch inside of the unit so you can fire it up from inside. And then once it comes time to service it, your oil inlet right there, everything else kind of accessible from just right down underneath. Once you're done, just lining it up, pushing it into place, locking it back down, and then close it back off. The truck itself, pretty standard if you're familiar with the Ford E-Series. You just get kind of the standard truck end there. Around to the other side of the unit, we get your front entry door. Little porch light right up above it. Down from there, you'll find your power outlets. Underneath that is just a storage compartment. In here, you'll find that tire iron if you ever needed to change a tire. Exhaust for your furnace. If you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Up above that, we get the vent for your fridge. So nothing really that back there for you to worry about. Just kind of venting there, or simple as that. Also a service port. Black tank flush here, so you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. So what you can do is take your water hose, plug it into here, open up the black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you. So straight down under here, we got your black valve there. All right. And then the last little storage compartment here. Then right in the back of the unit, you get your spare tire. You can see you do have a hitch down there, so if you're looking to tow the vehicle or the boat along with you, you got somewhere to do so. Then straight up top, you can see you do have a camera in that rear tail light. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit here. Door just pops on open and it is on a strut, so it holds it at 90 degrees. The purpose of that is just that we're not running into our awning arm in the front there. This bottom step, if you undo the strap, pop it on open, you get access to your batteries there. Right behind it is also a little lock box, so if you got anything valuable, you want to store it up in there. As you come in, over on the right, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point and shoot. Across the wall from there on the bottom left, you get your battery disconnect switch. So with that off to the right, that's it turned on. Point it up, and that's it then turned off. These light switches here, the one on the left does your porch light, the one in the center does your awning light, and the one on the right does your entry light or the living room light. Then you have your awning button here. Press and hold extend. The awning makes its way out. You do need your parking brake set for the awning to run with the ignition turned off. So once that's out all the way, we'll see a little black flap come down. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. That was the flap, just a little sticky today, so we'll come back and it should come down. There it goes. All right, so there's a flap and there's a tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold to track, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in. Again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. There you go. So straight up above that switch, you get your solar charge controller. Basically just allows you to monitor what your solar panel and your batteries are doing. This little outlet right there is for your furnace. So that's what it'll be outletting all of its air through. Then coming straight up across the front, you get your storage here on either side of the TV. The TV on itself is on a mount, so you just kind of push that straight out. You can kind of angle it where you like it. Right up top of the entrance, you get your stereo. So the power button is on the left there. Eject is on the right. Speaker zone A is your inside set of speakers. Zone B is your outside set. C is blank. That button on the left there would be all your inlets, all your controls on the right side. Some open storage here. Inside of here, you're going to find that antenna. You can see that antenna is hooked up. There is a little button right behind that guy. It just turns on that little light, letting you know your antenna is turned on or off. And right behind your dinette here, you got all your light switches. So in the bottom right corner here, you can see driver side rear light, just does a service light in the back corner basically. Up above that, we get your kitchen and your living room lights. On the left side here, you get your water pump switch. So you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of a fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Beside that's your water heater controls. Press that switch there on the right, that'll fire it up on gas. If this red light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Turning it on with electricity is just that switch there. Voltmeter there, again, just kind of something to allow you to see what your batteries are currently doing. And up above that, you get that same switch for starting and stopping that generator outside, as well as the hour meter there, so you can keep track of your service. LPG there is liquid propane gas. As you press that, you can see your propane is currently full. Same idea for your fresh tanks. As you fill that up, we'll go to a third, 2/3, and full. Same idea for black and your gray tanks. Remote for the TV there, and just storage right up above the dinette here. All just open storage. That curtain there goes into all your little Velcros there, allows you to close off the cab of the unit from the rest of the house. The seat belts in either end of the dinette signify that you can kind of sit in, or you can occupy them during travel. The table here is on a leg. You'd be taking that tabletop, wiggle it up and out of its leg. The leg will then wiggle out of its base. The table will then sit onto either side there. You can take the back cushions and create your bed. In the kitchen, just open storage up above. Right. Down underneath, there's a little light switches, right to the left and right there. That pad is a wireless charging pad, so if your phone is capable of it, you just plop it on there and it'll charge. Sink cover, just soft plastic, so nothing hot on there. Hot and cold water sink, of course. You do have the mobile head. Storage underneath with a little drawer space, just of course being mindful of your drains and your water lines behind this cupboard there. All right, for the stove, you're gonna press it in, turn it over to high, hit it with the igniter, fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it back off. Right side there, you get the switch that turns on the knob light. Microwave underneath it, pretty standard, just like home. Just has the addition of the convection, so you can kind of cook in here as well, replacing your oven. And again, just more storage there. Return air for your furnace, so just making sure that's not blocked off. Then in your fridge here, pretty standard. Right? You get your temperature selection in the back, or sorry, the top right corner. Right, got the sticker right beside it there. As you open up the freezer, you'll find your power button in the top. Press that button on the left there. This button on the right in, it's going to run in auto. Auto's first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it running solely on gas, you're going to have that button come out over flush. It'll fire up just on gas. Power button there turns it back off. And right around the corner from there, you get two more light switches. One on the left, do your bathroom. One on the right does the bedroom. Right around the corner there, behind this curtain, or the little sliding accordion door, you have your slide out switch. So for that slide out, you do need your parking brake set with your ignition turned on. You don't need the vehicle running, but you do need the ignition key in the on position. Then we can press and hold the bottom of that switch and your slide will make its way out. So you can see your mattress here just has the little wedge in it. So once you have that slide out all the way, you're going to bring that mattress out with it, and then the bottom piece has a similar edge that'll match it. There you go. So right inside of that space there, you've got a little power outlet as well as a USB outlet. Little closet storage space there. If we pick up the foot of your bed, right, we do get access to kind of another storage bin here, right, as well as just right through the open space there. On the right side, we get your converter. Press it on the right side, it'll pop on open. All of your breakers on the top there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the middle. So just turn it off and then back on to reset it. Fuses are all on the right side here, or left side, sorry. Right. In the head of the bed, there's a light for each side, just on its own little center push button there. And then just the open storage up top. This wall here, you do have a TV backer. So your power outlet here for it, 12 volt or 120 volt, as well as your antenna outlets. And then up into the bathroom here. So hot and cold water at your shower, of course, with the deluxe head and hose. And then your light switches over on the wall there. One on the left is your light, one on the right is your ceiling fan. Just get that knob there, turn that to open up that vent. For the toilet, you just got that pull tab in the back. That'll flush it. And then lastly, we'll just go through your thermostat here. So you just have your on off in the top right there. Press that to wake it up. Mode will bring it through all your modes. So you get your cooling, dry, heat, and fan. So cool is of course going to be your air conditioner. With your air conditioner going, you got two different options. You can have this louver here closed, in which case we'd be using all our ceiling ducting to move the air, or you can open it up and it just dumps all of its air in the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want that open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, then you can close it off, start moving the air throughout. If you press fan, you can select that fan speed. Typically you're going to want to just leave that in auto though. Temp selection is just right there. Hit mode, come down into dry. It'll run the air conditioning fan on low and just use that compressor to help get rid of any sort of humidity from the air. Heat will of course run your furnace, and then fan is just that fan running to move some air around. Simple as that. On off turns it back off. And then plain and simply, just get your hot and cold water at the sink, a little bit of storage underneath, and then your medicine cabinet there. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.